Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ali bin Qasim Secondary School for Boys welcomes you. This is a video for English techniques. English department welcomes all of you and presents for you this material. Okay, today we are going to deal with literary devices. It means the elements and techniques of fiction, and this is mainly concerned for narrative cluster. Let's first present what we are going to discuss. Today we are going to discuss the literary devices of fictions, and we have two parts. The first thing we are going to deal with the fiction elements or narrative elements. We will start by the setting, plot, characters, conflict, point of view, theme, mood, and dialogue. Also, we are going to have some information about rhetorical devices, flashback, foreshadowing, figurative language, sensory details, and illusion. Okay, let's start. What's setting? What is the setting? The setting element is the time and the place in which it occurs. This means it may include the physical and psychological, cultural or historical background against which the story takes place. This is normally happens in the first paragraph of your writing or while you are dealing with narrative. The second element is mood. Mood element is the atmosphere or feeling created by the writer and expressed through setting. Look here. This is the moody faces. If you look here, this face expresses happiness, and the one next to it is the confusion. And here you have to transfer all these moods into words in your writing to express or to portray the feelings. Here we comes to the most important element of the narrative or the fiction, the plot. Plot is the basic sequence of events in a story. In conventional stories, plot has 5 parts: exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. This arc shows the plot element. Again, repeat it. Good. Another technique, we call it flashback technique. Flashback technique normally occurs by which a work presents material that occurred prior to the opening scene. Various methods may be used, such as collections of characters, narration by the characters, dream sequences, and reverse. Another technique is foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is the presentation of material in a work in such a way that later events are prepared. The purpose of foreshadowing is to prepare the reader or viewer for action to come. It means I give him hints for what is coming to happen. Foreshadowing can result from the establishment of a mood or atmosphere, an event that adumbrates the later action, the appearance of physical objects or facts, and last, the revelation of a fundamental and decisive character trait. Here, we deal with the most important part of the narrative. We call it figurative language. Figurative language is a technique and normally used in many ways. We have alliteration, personification, idioms, imagery, metaphor, onomatopoeia, hyperbole, and simile. All these are called figurative language technique. Let's have them in detail. What's simile? Simile as a definition is a comparison of two things that are essentially different, usually using the words like or as. Look here at the example. Oh, my love is like a red rose. Notice here in this example we used the word like. Here is the metaphor. The metaphor is a subtle comparison in which the author describes a person or thing using words that are not meant to be taken literally. Look here at the example. Time is a dressmaker specializing in alterations. Here we compare two things. We compare the time by the dressmaker, but we didn't use as or like. This is the difference between simile and metaphor. Another figurative language element is imagery. Imagery as a definition is the use of language to create mental images and sensory impressions. Imagery can be used for emotional effect and to intensify the impact on the reader. To intensify it means to make it large, to widen, to strengthen it. Look at the example. Such a sweet sorrow. Another element is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the same sounds at the beginning of two or more adjacent words or stressed syllables. Notice Pharaoh followed free. Notice here we repeated the sound fa. Pharaoh followed free. Let's move. Another element is personification. Personification means non-human things or abstractions are represented as having a human qualities. Look here. A tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair. Another element is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia means the use of words that sound like what they mean. Look at the example. Hear the sledges with the bells, silver bells. Let's move. Hyperbole, or in another word, exaggeration. It means an intentionally exaggerated figure of speech for emphasis or effect. Look, all the perfumes of Arabia could not sweeten this little hand. Here I am exaggerating that all the perfumes could not make these things sweet. Idioms is another element of figurative language, and it means an expression that has different meaning from the literal meaning of its individual words. Idioms are particular to a given language and usually cannot be translated literally. Example, under the weather. And I think in your books you have many idioms that you can use while writing. This is for today, and we are going to have another video explaining more about narrative. Thank you for your viewing and listening. Thank you. Bye for now.